The president has already said he wants to see Adam Schiff held accountable for the countless lies he told the American people in relation to the Russiagate scandal. I brought Tulsi Gabbard out to this podium to talk to you about all of that, and this administration is taking accountability very seriously. As for this new FBI whistleblower report, I understand Kash Patel last night declassified a 302 FBI document showing that a whistleblower who is a Democrat, a career intelligence officer who worked for Democrats on the House Intel Committee for more than a decade, repeatedly warned the FBI in 2017 that then Rep. Adam Schiff had approved leaking classified information to smear then President Donald Trump over the Russiagate scandal. This is obviously a bombshell whistleblower report. Hopefully more people in this room will cover it as such. And I have a quote from the FBI director for all of you. He has said this: "For years, certain officials used their positions to selectively leak classified information to shape political narratives. It was all done with one purpose: to weaponize intelligence and law enforcement for political gain. Those abuses eroded public trust in our institutions. The FBI will now lead the charge with our partners at DOJ, and Congress will have the chance to uncover how political power may have been weaponized and to restore accountability." That's what the administration is focused on, and hopefully we'll see some more media reports on this whistleblower allegation. If this were reversed, if this were allegations against the president or any of these cabinet officials, I'm sure everyone in this room would cover it as such. Elizabeth, go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline. After yesterday's action to federalize the D.C. police, is the president still interested in working with Congress to end the Home Rule Act, something you've talked about in the past? Senator Mike Lee has a bill on it. Is that something he's still interested in?
The president is very much still interested in working with Congress to address many of the issues that have plagued Washington, D.C., such as the cashless bail policy, which has been a complete disaster for the city. Juvenile delinquency is another major problem in the city that Congress can address. So I know Congress is on recess right now. When they get back to work to Washington, this president looks forward to having these conversations with our friends on Capitol Hill so we can work with them to make D.C. safe and beautiful again. And again, we encourage Democrats to join us in this effort. Perhaps their approval ratings would move up a little bit if they did. I saw a new poll today. Democrat approval rating is at an all-time low, 32%. If they could just stand by the basic notion of law and order, perhaps they would see that tick up a bit, and we welcome them to do that. Dasha.
Thanks, Caroline. President Trump yesterday at this podium indicated this, so has NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, that in order for peace to happen, it is very likely that Ukraine will have to cede some land to Russia. Zelensky has repeatedly said no land for peace. That's not going to happen. Has this administration communicated to Zelensky that he's going to have to change that position?
Look, I appreciate you're asking that question in a different way than your colleague Michael in the back. I don't want to get into the details of these negotiations and these discussions that have taken place out of respect for where we are right now, and I'll let the president speak on it further if he wishes to.
One more about Israel. Sure. I know the president has had a call with Prime Minister Netanyahu recently. Netanyahu is planning to seize the remainder of Gaza City. What is the administration's position on this move by Israel's government?
Look, this is an incredibly complex and complicated war that, again, was inherited by this president, by his predecessor, Joe Biden. October 7th was one of the worst days in history. We saw innocent people slaughtered, murdered, kidnapped by Hamas terrorists. This administration has taken extensive time and effort and resources since Inauguration Day in January to end this conflict. We have given many flexible arrangements backed by Israel to Hamas, and unfortunately, Hamas has never agreed. Looking ahead, I will let the president speak on where he sees this going, but this is, of course, an incredibly complex and complicated situation. The administration has made our goal clear. We want to see this conflict end. We want to see the hostages released, and we've tried. The president and his national security team have given extensive effort and time to doing that.
With how Israel has used those resources and the assistance that you've provided?
Look, I'll let the president speak on the further actions that Israel may or may not be taking.
Senator Adam Schiff launched a legal defense fund as the California Democrat faces a federal investigation for alleged mortgage fraud, and President Donald Trump repeatedly condemns him for years of allegedly promoting the Russiagate hoax. It's clear that Donald Trump and his MAGA allies will continue weaponizing the justice process to attack Senator Schiff for holding this corrupt administration accountable, a spokeswoman for Schiff told Fox News Digital on Tuesday evening. This fund will ensure he can fight back against these baseless smears while continuing to do his job. The legal fund, dubbed Senator Schiff Legal Defense Fund, was filed with the Internal Revenue Service Thursday, according to the New York Times. Trump and Schiff have long been political foes, stretching back to the president's first administration, when Schiff, who was serving in the U.S. House at the time, oversaw the first impeachment trial against Trump in 2020 for alleged abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, and for repeatedly promoting the narrative that Trump's 2016 campaign colluded with Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia. Totally phony, created by Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff, and Hillary Clinton, and the whole group of them, Trump said from the Kennedy Center Wednesday. Trump was referring to recently declassified documents alleging the Obama administration manufactured and politicized intelligence to create the narrative that Russia was attempting to influence the 2016 presidential election, despite information from the intelligence community stating otherwise. It made it very dangerous for our country because I was unable to really deal with Russia the way we should have been, Trump continued from the Kennedy Center, referring to Attorney General Pam Bondi. And I'm looking at Pam because I hope something's going to be done about it. White House spokesman Harrison Fields called Schiff a fraud and corrupt politician when approached for comment on Tuesday regarding the legal fund. Adam Schiff is a sleazy and corrupt politician who betrayed his oath to the Constitution by prioritizing his selfish and personal animosity toward the president over the interests of the American people. No amount of money can shield Adam from the truth that he is a fraud, Fields told Fox News Digital. Schiff also came under fire earlier in August when documents released to Congress by FBI Director Kash Patel reported that a Democratic whistleblower who worked for Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee for more than 10 years told the FBI in 2017 that Schiff allegedly approved leaking classified information on Trump that would be used to indict President Trump. Schiff denied the allegations as absolutely and categorically false.
All right, did you hear about this? A Democrat whistleblower has told the FBI that then Congressman Adam Schiff approved leaking classified information in order to discredit President Trump, and the White House is giving its first reaction.
The president has already said he wants to see Adam Schiff held accountable for the countless lies he told the American people in relation to the Russiagate scandal. I have a quote from the FBI director. For years, certain officials used their positions to selectively leak classified information to shape political narratives. It was all done with one purpose, to weaponize intelligence and law enforcement for political gain. Those abuses eroded public trust in our institutions. The FBI will now lead the charge with our partners at DOJ and Congress.
Iowa Congresswoman Mariannette Miller-Meeks joins me now to react. Congresswoman, good morning to you. If true, how serious of an offense is this, and what can be done?
Well, it certainly is very serious, and Shifty Adam Schiff is justifying his name that he was given. Leaking classified information, as you know, is a serious offense, and it will be up to the Oversight Committee, Judiciary Committee, in order to handle this. But this is a very serious allegation. I've asked for Senator Schiff to resign. He should resign immediately.
Well, a Democrat staffer is the whistleblower. He was a Democrat staffer on the House Intel Committee for 12 years. And on top of claiming that Adam Schiff approved leaking classified information, this person also said Ranking Member Schiff was particularly upset as he had believed he would have been appointed as the director of the CIA had candidate Hillary Clinton won the election. What do you make of those details?
Well, remember that we were upset with Adam Schiff being put on Intel and kept on Intel. We thought he should have left Intel, been off of Intel when this was suspected earlier before, when also suspected that he was lying about classified information. So this is a serious charge. He needs to be held accountable, but people need to call for his resignation. And I think members of Congress, at least on the Republican side, are asking for him to step down.
How will the investigation into this play out?
I think what you'll see is even though we are on our August work period in our districts, you'll start to see that Judiciary and the Oversight Committee will start making, proposals that he be brought in to give testimony in front of the House, to be a witness. They'll start investigations, and they may issue subpoenas. They may wait until we're back in, but those plans are ongoing now.
Okay, well, a spokesperson for Adam Schiff responded to Fox News Digital saying Kash Patel's latest smear against Senator Schiff is absolutely and categorically false and is just the latest in a series of defamatory attacks from the president and his allies meant to distract from their plummeting poll numbers in the Epstein file scandal. These baseless smears are based on allegations that were found to be not reliable, not credible, and unsubstantiated from a disgruntled former staffer who was fired by the House Intelligence Committee for cause in early 2017. Your reaction to that statement from the Schiff camp?
Again, he's living up to his name. He's trying to deflect blame and attention from him and from his actions. This was people already suspected him of both lying about classified information and leaking classified information. You now have a whistleblower. We didn't have to change the whistleblower law like they did with President Trump and the Russian collusion hoax. But these are serious allegations, and he will be held accountable.
All right. There's also this that we want to ask you about, ending on some positive news here. The U.S. military is seeing a significant spike in female military recruits across all service branches. This year, there have been nearly 24,000 female recruits, which is up from just 17,000 a year earlier. Perfect topic for you, Congresswoman, as you served in our great military as well. So what's your reaction to this?
I'm delighted. As a 24-year Army veteran, I think that this shows that there is both support and belief in our commander-in-chief. We had service members whose PTSD worsened, mental health worsened with the disastrous, incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan, the bending over backwards to appease Iran. We know that there are 2 wars ongoing and chaos around the world because of the weakness of the Biden administration and the appeasement of thugs, both the war in Ukraine and the invasion of Israel by Hamas. So I think, we have a series of events right now where we have a commander-in-chief who is showing that he supports the military, that the military is going to do its job. It's not going to be woke policies. It's not going to be DEI. It is a military of merit, which knows what its mission is in the world. And I think that, people who go into the military gravitate towards that. So as you know, our enrollment numbers, recruitment numbers were way down, especially in the Army and Marines. And so as an Army veteran, to see those numbers come up, especially among females, I think is extraordinarily encouraging.
Yeah, well, we thank you so much for your service in the military and for your service in Congress that is still ongoing. Iowa Congresswoman Mariannette Miller Meeks, we thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Schiff notably served on the January 6th committee, which investigated the day in January 2021 when Trump supporters breached the U.S. Capitol, and was among lawmakers who were granted preemptive pardons on President Joe Biden's final day in office in 2025. Schiff, however, had publicly condemned the prospect of Biden doling out preemptive pardons as unnecessary and setting a bad precedent. First, those of us on the committee are very proud of the work we did. We were doing vital, quintessential oversight of a violent attack on the Capitol, Schiff said during a media interview in December 2024. So I think it's unnecessary. But second, the precedent of giving blanket pardons, preemptive blanket pardons on the way out of an administration, I think is a precedent we don't want to set, he added. The California Democrat also is facing a federal investigation for mortgage fraud, Fox Digital previously reported. Schiff has denied any wrongdoing, claiming the matter is a baseless attempt at political retribution. The U.S. Federal Housing Finance Agency, FHFA, sent a criminal referral to the Department of Justice in May, claiming that, in multiple instances, Schiff allegedly falsified bank documents and property records to acquire more favorable loan terms, impacting payments from 2003 to 2019 for a Potomac, Maryland-based property.